Special report now. It has been 2 years since people voted Mayor Jim Langfelder into office in Springfield. In a special report, News Channel 20's Esther Kwon sat down with the mayor and joins us now with what he says about his past 2 years. Esther?
Well, John, I asked the mayor to give himself a letter grade on how he's done in his 2 years in office. He says a B+. Langfelder says one of his biggest accomplishments has been solidifying CWLP's financial standing, something he says wasn't the case when he first took office.
What people forget is what shape the utility was in when we came into office. So you had they transferred $2 million, or I think it was $2 to $4 million from the corporate fund to the utility to shore up the utility. So that was done, but we've refinanced the bonds, we renegotiated the coal contract, we restructured the rates, so you don't see an escalation as much as the power bills like they were seeing previous to us coming into office.
Along his list of accomplishments during the past 2 years as mayor, Jim Langfelder adds the completion of the Carpenter Street underpass, renewal of the downtown TIF, and the demolition of the Y block. But some residents say that's not enough.
I think that big hole there where the YMCA or YWCA building is, I think their plans for that is not exactly something that's going to be generating a lot of revenue. We've already got a city park down by the old train station. I don't see that we need another one.
Some people argue Mayor Langfelder hasn't done enough economically, but the mayor says some things are out of his control.
A lot of people are concerned because they feel like the city is in worse fiscal shape now than when you took office. What do you have to explain that? How can you explain the bad fiscal shape that we're in?
Well, it's without state budget. We're projected to have a $2 million drop of revenues from the previous year. So if the revenues aren't coming in, we've held the line on expenses with regards to headcount. And so we haven't ballooned the budget. It's a direct reflection. It's just not Springfield, it's across the country, a direct reflection of revenue sources for municipalities, and it's mainly driven through sales tax revenues decreasing.
The declining retail sales taxes are what worries lifelong Springfield resident Richard Hart. Another long-term issue he's worried about, declining city services like the public library or police and fire protection.
The budgeting for the city in terms of the retirement funds that are used for retirees. If I look at my real estate tax bill, all of it for the city goes to retirement, and I'm worried about the future of services in Springfield because of that.
I understand a lot of it you're saying is not in your control, not in anyone in the city level's control. What can we do that is in your control that can fix or change Springfield right now?
Well, you can look out the window right now and see what's happened. Salvation Army has moved from where they were going to be close to the railroad tracks, putting $6 million into a money pit, and they've moved out to Gold's Gym to provide community services. But what it also did is with Horace Mann, one of our major employers, they have a better footprint for downtown expansion opportunities. The Greco buildings come down. SMTD will move the buses from Capitol Avenue this year and move over to start the intermodal hub process. So that will happen this year, as well as the Jackson Street corridor. That's all going to happen this year.
Also happening this year, the mayor says his focus will be on the heart of Springfield, the downtown district.
This is a busy corridor, but even here, you have empty storefronts. You know, you have vacant spots, and I mean, this is the busiest one. So on the other streets, those are.
Well, this I think is pretty full. But upstairs those are housing apartments for the most part. But that's what downtowns are transforming to, are just local, smaller shops. You know, not the bigger stores.
How do we fill these empty stores and these vacant spots, and how do we bring those businesses here to Springfield?
Well,
most
of them happened through the developers themselves. I mean, they had a product to market or service to provide, and then they saw this as value. So the other thing we can look at is the TIP program. You know, if someone has to redo their building, that's where we'd be able to offset some of the costs associated with it using TIF. And so that's how, you know, the city can help directly with that.
Mayor Langfelder says going forward, the initiatives that'll take Springfield to the next level include the Hunter Lake Initiative, the 10th Street Rail Project, and working with those big employers to provide more jobs and come up with additional housing downtown. Now, we did speak with the mayor, but we also spoke with some people who complain that the mayor raised their taxes, hasn't fixed any of the city's roads, and has not cut back on spending as much as he could. And we want to hear from you, so go to our Facebook page and you can give the mayor a grade based on what you think his performance has been like in the past 2 years. John?